In a defiant television interview tonight, the leader of France's hard-right anti-immigration party National Rally, Marine Le Pen, has said she will not disappear from politics. Her comments came after she was banned from public office for 5 years, meaning she won't be able to run in the country's presidential election in 2 years' time, after being found guilty of embezzling European funds in order to finance her party. She claimed the judges had handed down today a ruling worthy of authoritarian regimes. Well, Marine Le Pen had been viewed by many as the front-runner to win the next presidential election. As we can see from the last set of election results in France, support for her political party and its allies, shown here in the blue, stretches across many parts of the country. Our Europe editor, Katia Adler, is in Paris for us tonight. Katia.
Well, Jane, there was pretty much a sharp intake of breath across the country when the Le Pen verdict became known. The judge really dragged out the drama, and TVs were on in bars and cafes. People were listening on the metro and in their offices. She is a huge political figure here in France, the face of the nationalist right. And even though, as you say, she has come out fighting, defiant, she's going to appeal the verdict, she says. Deep down, she knows this could spell the end of her political career and the end to her long-cherished hope of becoming France's next president. Silent fury oozing out of her, Marine Le Pen marched out of the Paris courthouse today, even before the final verdict. Why?
J'ai parfaitement compris.
It was perfectly clear, she said on French TV tonight. The judge was out to bar her from running for president.
Monday, 31st of March, is a dark day for our democracy and our country. Millions of French voters are being deprived of their favorite presidential candidate. If that isn't a political decision, I don't know what is.
Today's sentencing sent shockwaves around France, even amongst those who aren't natural allies of Le Pen. The BBC visited Moissac in the rural southwest.
I think this whole thing is political, to stop Le Pen becoming France's next president. She was in pole position.
I don't share her values at all, but I believe everyone has the right to run as a political candidate.
The legal case dates back to Le Pen's years as a member of the European Parliament, ending in 2016. Today, along with more than 20 others in her Rassemblement National party, she was convicted of creating fake jobs and contracts to divert EU cash, well over £3 million worth, for her party's operations in France. The judge banned her from standing for political office for 5 years and sentenced her to jail. Today's ruling has set off a political earthquake in France. On the one hand, you have the hard right, the far right, who say this was an attempt to steal the presidency from them, their chance to reform France and make it great again. But there are wider implications, those who suggest the court was biased, that it took a criminal case against Marine Le Pen for political ends to stop her and her nationalist agenda. This afternoon, a stony-faced Marine Le Pen headed to her party's headquarters outside Paris. She's launching a legal appeal. They're launching an online petition to support her. If she fails, this is the man waiting in the wings. Le Pen's political protégé, Jordan Bardella. 29 years old, wildly popular in the polls, but considered by many as too inexperienced for a bruising French presidential race. France was already deeply divided before today's Le Pen ruling. The schisms now run even deeper between those who believe justice has been done and others convinced French judges the French establishment is out to prevent the will of the people.
Katia, an extraordinary day where you are. What sort of reaction are we hearing outside France?
Well, Jane, look, those political divisions that I was talking about here in France, you're now seeing them across Europe because nationalist parties or hard-right parties, they're gaining in strength. And today we saw hard-right political leaders from across Europe taking to the social media platform X in support of Marine Le Pen. Je suis Marine, I am Marine, said Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary. Geert Wilders of the Netherlands said he was sure she would make it as France's next president. The Kremlin in Russia even chimed in, interestingly criticising democracy in Europe. And we heard a similar toned tweet from Donald Trump this evening. He referred to a previous speech by his vice president, criticising, he said, the lack of free speech here in Europe and the barring of people from the political process. But, you know, Jane, if we think back to before the US presidential election and Donald Trump, all of those legal battles that he faced, that didn't harm his political support. And what we could see here, whatever happens to Marine Le Pen, is that her party actually benefits from all of this press attention and even today's today's judicial verdict seen by her party as political.